he sees that they saddle in honey. He's what? He sees that they sort of deal with. He sees
What?
he researches the island and sees that they sort of they
Deal in the honey business?
they've got a lot of honey.
Aye. Fucking hell.
I struggled with that.
Aye, they're in a honey game.
They've got a lot of that honey money. I'm a huge fan of the original. Massive fan of the original.
Really?
Huge fan.
I remember a couple of years ago, well, it wasn't a couple of years ago, it was like over a decade probably now, when they sort of revamped Film 4, all these British films and all these sort of indie films and stuff, and it was really exciting. I remember one of the films then was Wicker Man, and I hadn't seen it. I'd heard of it, but I hadn't seen it before, so I sat up and watched it, man. And it's pretty boring. And I liked it, and I totally appreciate what it is, and there is, we'll get to it, but there's elements in even this movie with Nick Cage done much worse that I still liked, like the sort of creepiness of it, the weird atmosphere, the sort of the mystery of it all.
We did choose the remake for the anniversary. Just seemed appropriate. Let's get into it. A police officer travels to a secluded island to search for a girl who has gone missing. Hunnels are these production logos, and we get this big field. Did you see this field?
This was a nice field, nice and spacey.
We get a dino. CM, do you recognise this dino?
I did. It was, oh my god, I forget his name. Two-Face.
Oh, Two-Face, oh, Airy Netcart.
He's literally an extra. He's a truck driver who pays for his coffee and then leaves.
Yep, that's it. We get these cops, these highway cops, and we learn that this cop just ate a big old burger apparently. Says he's sleepy.
Man, Nicolas Cage loves a leather jacket. It's game show time.
I tell you who loves a jacket, Nicolas Cage, but in these particular movies, does he wear the leather jacket or does he not? That is $1 million question. Are you ready to go? Let's start Leatherman or Wicker Man.
I don't know what's happening. I'm dead happy to be here.
It's a game. It's a game, Karen. It's a surprise game show. We like to do this here on Eedjits Features every now and then. And I've come up with a game really simple. Don't have to put too much thought into it. As we know, Nicolas Cage loves a leather jacket. In real life or in the movies. So I've come up...
I wondered why you mentioned that jacket.
I'm really stretching this episode out so we don't need to talk about the movie. It's a real simple game. I'm going to name you 5 Nicolas Cage movies. If he wears a jacket, you say Leatherman. If he doesn't wear a jacket, you say Wicker Man. Understand the rules? Okay. Right, give it up for Karen. Question number 1. Going early Nick Cage here. Valley Girl.
Wicker Man.
Correct. He does not wear a leather jacket in Valley Girl.
He wears that wee sleeveless number and looks like a ride.
Big Nicholas Coppola.
He was hot in the 80s, man.
He's still
Of course, absolutely.
still a fairly handsome man. But aye, the 80s Nick Coppola can get it. Movie number 2. Gone in 60 seconds.
Leatherman!
Oh, you damn right.
It's a wee beast.
Movie number 3. Knowing.
He's a professor in it. Wicker Man.
That's correct. You're free for free. That's absolutely correct. Question number 4. Drive Angry.
Leatherman.
Yeah, of course. That one.
Good
was
movie, good movie.
Surprisingly better than you think movie.
So good, man. I love that movie.
Last but not least, think about this one before you answer. City of Angels.
Oh, I've seen it loads. When he comes back to Earth. Wicker Man.
Correct, yes. He is wearing a long trench coat.
Yeah.
It kind of looks leathery sometimes, but it's not. It's like, I don't know, suede or something.
I have seen City of Angels a bunch, sir.
Have you?
Oh,
Why?
I have, yeah.
Big Meg Ryan fan?
In the 90s, you couldn't escape Meg Ryan.
Is it a great movie though?
It's good. It's
I
a
liked it
bit,
when it came out. Is it going to hold up? We
But-
should do that.
wee bit heavenly for my
There's
taste.
a lot of the old Jesus patter in it.
I think there's some Jesus patter.
Anyway, that's it for this week's episode of
Weatherman or Wicker Man?
We have 2 different cuts of this.
We Do, yes. There is a theatrical cut.
You watched the theatrical cut?
Yeah. And you watched the unrated DVD cut, I think. Because there's also, apparently, a scene he gets his legs broken.
Yes, there is.
Doesn't it happen in my cut?
Oh, it's brutal.
It happens off screen, so you hear him. It's just it cuts to black, and you hear him going, "Oh, my legs!"
To
And
be
that's
fair,
it.
it's brutal. It's pretty good. I will try my hardest to compliment the stuff in this that's okay.
Me too. I'm not here just to shit on this movie,
Totally.
which
not
is
at
easy
all.
to do. But like, there is some decent elements to this.
We should comment on it now before 4 or I'd say 3 to 5 years from now, before it goes through the reappraisal and people start to reevaluate this film. It will happen. It's inevitable. I won't defend it that much then, but I will compliment things about it immediately off the bat. The tone's kinda nuts and kinda eerie at times. That's kinda cool.
Yeah, it's definitely, there is parts of this movie and certain scenes that is very strange. It's my favourite sort of, well, not my favourite, but I do like that genre of movie where like...
Fish out of water.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on. All these villagers looking at you, they know something you don't know. There's some sort of, you feel like the odd one out, everybody's looking at each other, it's all very unnerving.
He's just Mad Maxing these country roads, giving folks tickets. This looks like a great job.
Yep.
You said that?
Yeah, I did, aye. Just driving about, giving people tickets, being a pure dick. Looks pretty easy as well. You could probably just sit there, eat a sandwich, and just like con out a couple of tickets to get your quota up, and that's you for the day.
You could eat any meal.
Yeah, there's a hand for a sandwich. That's the first thing that came to my head.
We get the road incident.
I see this movie 5,000 times in my cut, and I still don't really know what happens. Is this girl really here? Is she a ghost? Is it supernatural?
It doesn't matter, man.
It doesn't
Just
matter,
go
does
with
it?
it, man.
Holy shit, you're going to see it enough times, just fucking deal with it.
Little girl chucks doll out of the car. Cage picks it up and pursues this vehicle.
Well driving, a smooth pickup there. He's driving his motorbike, does the brake stride, bends down, picks it up mid-ride.
He looks like he's ready to bust heads, man. Don't he?
It's the most action you've seen though. He lives in this wee nowhere town. He's like, yes.
Oh, you know he's Judge Dredd in the highway.
Aye, 100%.
I am the law.
So he pulls this car over, hands it all back. This wee fucking bitch throws it right back out the window again.
That is a hard B, man. That's just a Wayne.
Oh, sorry, I did actually right, bitch. I glanced at my notes. I wrote brat.
It's worth the improv to.
I'm just angry. You put me in the angry mood.
And the mum pure apologising. He's like, "It's okay, honey. Don't worry about it." And he goes out and this is so fun. This
is hilarious, man. He bends over to pick up the doll.
And this big Final Destination truck comes in.
Wipes them the fuck out.
Cage runs towards this wreckage and tries to save them.
Why would you be... You're like... Just call for backup at this point.
Oh,
call for an ambulance.
It's just done.
Aye.
Man.
There is zero chance of survival. I mean, this big 18-wheel truck hits them full speed, dead on. Nobody's surviving this.
But the kid's there, eerily, and staring back at him.
Again, this is where the movie... I'm like, what is happening? So the kid's just in the back seat, completely unharmed, just looking at him, doesn't even seem that scared. It's supposed to be creepy, I think.
He's like, "Come on, give me your hand."
He tries to like break in, he's trying to break the glass to save this little girl from the wreckage. She looks completely unfazed, she's just kind of looking at him, like mildly. An explosion happens, Nicolas Cage flies back. He's not got any scratches or anything on his face, though.
That wig is barely holding on.
That's the only thing that gets fucking blown anywhere in this movie.
It's like a D-Dow, man, stapled. Oh, we get this big Wicker Man. This font. Yikes. Yes.
Aye, so that's the cold open of the movie, basically. A big car explosion, a wee lassie and her mum died.
He does your classic sort of hard man, popping of the pills, dealing with the tragedy.
Aye, he's a cop, he's on leave. He's had to be put on leave because he's just scunnered.
His colleague shows up to check up on him, and he's watching this old western. She says, "Why didn't you sort of quit?" He said his dad would be sad if he left being a cop. He's all sad in that.
She says that he got a commendation for his efforts. He didn't really do it in there. Pointed has picked up a doll.
He rescued the doll.
It led to innocent women die.
But the doll's okay. That's what
That's what me.
he just shows them.
He's kept the doll. This is my daughter, do you like it?
Even father showing up like, no, and he's like, don't worry, the doll's okay.
Yeah, I saved the doll. It was on the road.
He needs some time off. They haven't found the bodies from that car and they can't identify them. They may never know who they are.
The car wasn't registered.
Yeah.
Right, can we talk about it? Because it never... maybe it does, and I'm stupid. What is this car?
What do you mean?
Like, is it a ghost car?
Man, no.
No, but like...
I'm not talking to you about ghost cars.
Who's the woman and who's the kid? Is this a vision? Does any of this really
we need
happen?
to Mamma Mia this thing and keep this train going because I can't with you the night.
Do you know what I mean? But like, does it explain?
You're talking about ghost cars and I think you've mentioned them already the night, man.
My point is, it makes no fucking sense. That's all I'm trying to say, is that this movie makes no sense.
Look at me.
Right.
Look at me, wee man.
Right.
It's 10 o'clock. Do you want to be talking about this film at midnight the night?
I really don't. We should get.
Can you imagine what we'll sound like when we're trying to rate this thing at 12:30?
Gets a letter from his ex. Not sure if it's fiance, not sure if it's his wife. It doesn't specify at this point.
This is Willow, we'll come to find.
Yeah, she has a daughter called Rowan. She lives in some kind of island and needs help as her daughter is missing.
He sees that they saddle in honey. What? He sees that they sort of deal with. You see
what?
He researches the island and sees that they sort of they
deal in the honey business.
They've got a lot of honey.
Aye. Fucking hell.
I struggled with that.
Aye, they're in a honey game.
They've got a lot of that honey money.
Cage maintains that this is an intentional black comedy. Is it? Fuck, by the way.
No.
He's just sick of people making fun of him for
Yes.
this. And he's like, oh, it's funny on purpose. Not, isn't he?
This is just, unfortunately for him, what highlighted the cageisms. This
Yeah.
was the catalyst for all of that.
And see, I'll defend Nick Cage in this movie. He's not that bad up until like the final act.
This movie has a fine cast. It's not the cast's problem.
Winona Ryder was supposed to play Willow.
I would have watched that.
And she passed after she read the script. She was one of the worst scripts she's ever read.
Oh, and she's been
And
in some
Winona-
channels.
When Winona's been like, I'm not doing this. Is Winona in 2006. It's not as if she was in high demand. The offence to
Man, she was mostly in the jail for thieving.
Exactly, she was in high remand.
I was good.
Thank you.
I was better than mine. Sandbagged. He walks through this police station saying hello, and asks his fellow officers about a letter. This letter that he's been given by his ex that you mentioned from Willow.
His partner's a pure dick.
He is the worst rider. He is so rude about the ex. He's like, why? She's got some fucking kid, who cares, basically. And Nick Cage is like, I still gotta see that she's okay. And he's like, fuck this.
In fairness, he's right. It turns out in the end, he's right because it's a trap, spoiler.
It doesn't help that Nick Cage's Edward, after the wonderful Edward Woodward,
Yeah.
is the worst fucking detective in the world,
He
man.
is horrible. He's a terrible cop.
He has terrible
Why
instinct.
does he go here himself also and no bring back up? Or no tell anybody where he's going? Even be like, say if you don't hear from me in like 24 hours, send somebody to this island, here's the address. That's all he needs to do.
He's thick as fuck.
He's thick. Aye, that is, we'll get to that. He's the amount of stupid decisions he makes in this movie.
Do you like a ferry?
I mean, I like a ferry.
It's exciting still, isn't it?
Aye, it is exciting.
He slaps on some cologne, right? Did you see this?
Now, what is this about? I thought this maybe plays onto it later, but it's just him putting on aftershave.
He's got to see his ex, man. You know this about.
Oh, so is that what it's about? He's like,
You know
oh,
he's
make
up to
me
it,
getting
man.
some action. He looks up this wee girl who, I don't know if it's the missing girl or the girl from the car. Again, these blonde white chicks look very similar. He looks up and thinks it's her. What happens?
A truck wipes her out, man. This truck's on this boat. Oh no! How'd this truck go on the boat?
I'm dying.
His soundtrack is all over the place in this.
Aye,
It
really is.
It tries to be strange in the right way and it's in the wrong way.
Yeah.
He talks to this pilot, man. Oh my god, right, with this pilot.
This water pilot.
He asks about Summer Isle. Cage wants to hitch a lift to this island and this guy is not having it.
He's like, no, like, I did deliveries here, whatever. They're very
They're
private. They're very private. They're very particular about who they want on their island.
Cage is a pure dick and he offers him a few bucks. It honestly
he fucking
looks...
takes it, but
This guy...
This is a bad investment to say the least.
he rides this Seahawk to Summer Isle and brings Cage along. This is like... It feels like this is his bread and butter.
This is his life. Like, doing deliveries at this island is like his main source of income. He's sacrificing this for like 20 quid.
They probably pay him very well.
Aye, because he's not just paying to do deliveries, he's probably paying to like keep things secret. He's probably seen some stuff.
Can you chuck the odd body out the plane as you're getting near the...
Aye, 100%. They'll give him
Why
a jar
not?
of honey for it or something.
Oh, do you think he's getting paid in honey, man? Oh!
Just a sea captain sitting there with a jar and a spoon. Ah, that's me honey.
Oh, and he's like, and you know the petrol, but he's just slanging honey on it because they're not paying him. This film is so stupid. Right, oh man, I've wrote here Nick Cage looks weird in a sweater and a suit.
Aye, it does. See him with a leather jacket on, it's odd.
I've wrote that his teeth look mad and his hair is hanging on. Did you notice his teeth?
Oh no, I'm too busy looking at his fucking hair. Oh, his hair's hanging on for dear life.
Oh.
Why are you putting him in a windy film?
Or in the water at one point, man. Oh. Cage gets a warning. He was told he shouldn't land here and he says that he's a cop. Says that he's been invited and he's looking for a child.
They're absolutely not in any way, shape or form like caring that he's a cop. He shows his badge off and they're just like, alright, cool.
They kinda know they've got him at this point.
100%. As soon as he shows up, they're like, oh, there he is, there a big guy.
He sees that a couple of... They've got this big bloody sack and Nicolas Cage says, "What's in there, a shark?"
Why is that when he goes to?
He asks if there's a shark in there. And my impression was wrong because I'm pretty sure he says it really casually.
What's in there, a shark?
I mean, what's in there, a shark or something?
Why is that your go-to? A shark?
It's so weird. It must be because it's flopping about.
But it's not, it's just this big sack dripping with blood.
It's a good example of how just nonchalant and chill he is this entire movie. Like, he is so just kinda... He cages out, but from scene to scene, he's just sort of riding bikes or taking walks through the forest.
This movie's mental. The tone of this movie jumps about like a fucking yo-yo.
We look in the bloody bag and it's a pig.
I think so, aye. And they laugh at him for getting scared.
They laugh and I've wrote it wasn't even that funny. This Wicker Diner looks like a set, man. Did you see this?
This looks like a fucking brewer's fire. I mean, it looks like one of those like
there was
shitty Weatherspoons.
Plastic, you know when they bring it to the city centre at Christmas?
Aye. It kind of looks like the Christmas market, but it's all those wooden stalls that are fake wood.
This barkeep does not like the cut of Cage's jib, man.
She fucking hates him, man.
He walks in immediately and he says,
"Must be ladies' night."
That sounds like... Do you think they had John Lovitz in mind for this? Because that is a Lovitz line, man.
No, but that's... yeah. This movie with John Lovitz is a million times better. I'm just going to say that right now.
Oh, could you...
Hello.
Him in the suit.
He just walks in. Must be ladies' night.
I'm in this. Oh boy, it must be ladies' night. What's with all these bees?
You give me some honey.
I like bees, boobies.
That's fucking so funny.
He speaks to this barkeep and she knows all about him. This is the tone that's kind of cool from time to time.
Yeah, this scene is kind of what I'm talking about. I kind of like it. Apart from the ladies' night line, which is really cheesy.
A couple of other lines,
but
on
the fact
cool.
that they're actively hostile against him immediately is quite good.
Very creepy.
The fact that everybody's staring at him
Yep.
and they all clearly know something he doesn't know.
He asks for a room for the night, and I think, does he ask for a meal or something? And he says, "Can you swing it?" And she says, "Is
I
that
can swing it."
California talk?"
Aye, something like that big city California talk.
He asks if they use money here or teeth.
Is that what he said?
I'm pretty sure.
No,
Oh,
I didn't.
No,
hear that
sorry. Afro.
That sounds like one of your notes.
Man, Ryan, do you think... I'm going to keep it as Brian, do you think they even use money here or teeth? Laugh like you meant it, man.
So I'm still laughing at the fuck up.
Enter Willow like a soap opera.
Man, she looks, the way this is framed, she's got a fan bow on her face, she's got a light behind her.
It's all diffused, it's heavenly.
Yep, she's all, it honestly looks like she's an angel.
The barkeep offers Edward some mead and comes out this big chrome tankard.
This tankard is spotless.
Did you...
This is the cleanest glass I've ever seen in any pub.
Porno set, man.
Aye, this tankard has never been used.
The dicker, man.
I've never been to a pub where they've given me a glass this clean before. It stands out. And then he gets all big dick, and it's like, I like to make an announcement, and smacks the table with his big tankard.
I'm here on police business. I'm looking for a child. Her name's Rowan.
And then he turns around and there's a bee.
Oh, man.
He picks up his big clean tankard and he fucking smashes this bee.
Battles this bee, man. He hates bees.
And the villagers are fucking raging.
Oh, man, they knew this bee.
Aye, this bee had a name. This is Bob
His name
the
is
bee.
Billy.
Billy Bee.
He sees Willow as he goes to his room and she gives him a wee letter.
I like the fact that it's like we're being overheard. We need to go somewhere private because they're listening. It gives that a sort of more creepy feeling of like he's not safe even in his room, sort of thing. When he meets her down by the water, she tells him not to believe anything he sees or hears. You fucking get that right. I would be instantly freaked out. I'd be calling for backup. I'd be like,
What are you talking about, meet you in an hour here?
yeah, what's wrong with this island? What's going on? In fairness, he does ask all these questions in this movie, and none of them get answered. I don't know, the majority of this movie is him just asking people what's going on, and them just being so vague with answers.
Yeah, he's like, he's like, what the hell happened to you? And they go back and forth about the relationship, and it gets to how she's living now. She acknowledges that it's odd. He asks why he didn't get the dad to help, and she says she only trusts him. She takes his hand, and she says that Rowan's been taken. They hear a bell, and she runs off.
And this bell is never explained. It's just...
She's summoned
to some sort of town meeting or something, I don't know. Well, this is where he goes back to his room and he's going through his bag. This is where the EpiPen is introduced. EpiPen? That doesn't work, that's a straight joke. His EpiPen, he takes out this big black and yellow thing that says, in case of bee stings, break glass. Like this ridiculous MacGuffin of this movie. It
looks like a novelty gag.
Aye.
You buy for like a pharmacy or something like that.
100%.
Like you buy for a chemist.
But this is dead serious. This is like, look at this big thing because it's going to be important later. This is an EpiPen in case he gets stung by a bee. Downstairs in this inn, all these women are having a meeting about the return of the Wicker Man. This is the first time the Wicker Man's mentioned.
These twins, man. Righto.
And is this the... I thought this would be a cool detail, but I'm just totally making this up.
It's not the Shining Twins.
Ah, bastard. I thought that would have been cool if they would have like hired the Shining Twins to do this.
We get some creepy Leela Lisabowski. Leela says... Lily...
Not Jodie Foster.
Lily
Not
Lou.
Jodie Foster. That's what I refer to her through the rest of the movie.
Lebowski
Heard that was at Jodie Foster.
and sort of Blake just came along and ate that career, didn't she, man?
He says that some things have been missing from his bag, and she just kind of looks at him and walks off.
She represents forbidden fruit.
I guess, but she's supposed to be sexualised.
Yeah, sort of like Thingy in the original. Willow in the original.
The thing about the original, there's a lot of like sexual stuff in the original. Obviously, they're naked a lot of the time in the movie and
So
stuff.
much of the song as well.
Yeah, and they just completely cut all that for this.
I can't believe they cut the music. I really can't believe that. That's stupid.
There's a lot that they cut in this movie, and there's a lot they add to it too that just doesn't work.
Flashes to the boat girl being wiped out again.
This bitch get hit. It's the third time in the movie that she's been wiped out by a car.
Not the only time I will say it right now, this movie is 40% that clip.
They recycle this clip a lot in this car crash, and it's hilarious every time.
And he's pure freaked out every time. He wakes up at night, pops his pills. Place is really creepy at night. The score though sucks. But the nighttime stuff is a bit creepy.
You're talking about the bird in this barn? Because this reeks of a scene that some studio executives watched and been like, we need an action beat. This movie's been too slow so far. It's just a bunch of people talking. We need Nick Cage to do something. We need him to like jump over something or like do something exciting. So we'll have him fall through a barn and that'll be exciting.
It feels like they had like an offcut for National Treasure sitting about and they just slapped it into this thing, man.
Aye, just stuck a fake wig
Falling
on it.
through a barn. The best bit about it I've wrote is when the pigeons wonder if Nick Cage's hair is a nest.
He follows this little girl ghost up into this barn, right? And then he finds a jacket. We'll just spoil the movie. Obviously, this is all a big elaborate trap for him. That's what we find out. How do they get him into the barn to find the jacket?
It doesn't even... No, I'm not talking about this barn.
But do you know what I mean? They've put a jacket there for him to find. But like, how have they managed to get him to go into the barn?
Sound effects.
But you see how the girl run about the chases?
Just in a real asset. They don't look now in it, you know. Just
I suppose it could be just another girl they've got.
or a little person, or...
No, but you see lots of little girls on the side. Yeah. It could have been one of them.
They don't look now in it, and plus he's popping these pills, they could have played with his medicine and stuff.
Possibly, aye. Anyway, goes to the barn, sees it, he finds this wee jacket, falls through a barn, and
I've just wrote pure rubbish action scene with him falling through a barn. This barn scene is awful.
Aye. We go to the next morning, he asks not Jodie Foster about honey.
He's at this breakfast wearing a pure David Byrne chunky suit. Did you see this chunky suit, man?
Oh, I see you in these chunky suits.
What are you doing wearing this type of... You can't wear a suit in this heat. He moans about the honey and is pure rude. He is so rude.
He's pure, is this store-bought? What, fuck you, Nicolas Cage.
He represents the arrogance of man.
Yeah. Oh, they can't wait to fucking cook him later.
Lilu gives him some exposition and is weird the whole time. They were not in this scene. Did you see? They were not in this scene together.
No,
at
because
all.
they're never on screen at the same time. It's like him sitting at a table and then her standing by a wall.
All reversal.
She says that the crops were cursed. This is where he sees the pictures of all the little girls in the background at this festival.
He's eating and drinking everything given to him like a big dafty in this,
Why
man.
would you touch the food these fucking weirdos are giving you?
You-
Especially after you just seen them in a big bloody sack.
He's no suspicious at all, though. He just freaks out in quiet corners. You would have riddled your bag with some Nutri-Grain bars and survived on that.
100%, aye.
Checks out all these photos. She talks about the ceremonies, a fertility dance or something. More Lilu being a pure weirdo. She's chopping wood. She asks if she can come with him when he goes back to the mainland. And he sort of stumbles on it. I think he says no. I would have just said yes for the help.
Yeah. In the cut I seen, you didn't see this. I seen a different cut. This comes back in the very last line of the movie. Do you want me to spoil it for you now?
Go for it.
So the theatrical cut, which is when I watched, we've got James Franco and what's his face? Hold on, sorry, I've got it written down here. Jason Ritter, Willow, and not Jodie Foster, I forget her name, are sitting at this bar. James Franco and his mate go over to them to like chat them up and buy them drinks. She asks him where he's going after this, and he says, I'm probably just going to head back to my apartment. And she grabs his arm like she grabs Nicolas Cage's arm and she goes, take me with you. And then credits. Well, that's how the movie ends.
Everything in this is like...
This movie's cut together by fucking sellotape.
He interrupts a class and they're talking about... dongs.
They're talking about a man's phallus?
Yeah.
This teacher fucking hates him, by the way. As soon as he walks into this class, she gives him a look. She fucking can't hate it.
The great Molly Parker. Again, this cast is solid.
She's far too good for this movie.
All of them are.
I
Frances
feel so bad for her.
Conroy.
Yep.
Frances Conroy, Ellen Burstyn, Lilo Sabowski. I'll murder the name, but great actors.
So he busts into this class, takes the picture out. He's like, there's a missing girl, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's in on it. But even all the little children in the school.
He pure scrubs out the board.
That's so funny. I was laughing again. This isn't supposed to be funny, but he just like completely interrupts this class, rubs at the chalkboard and writes her name down.
Whose desk is this?
He walks up to the desk and opens it, and there's a crow inside, and it flies out. This is pretty creepy. This scene. Afterward, he says, "Why did you do that?" And they say something like, "We want to see how long it would last in there."
They wanted to see how long it could stand it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
pretty
good,
cool.
Creepy line.
That is pretty creepy. I did like that.
They all laugh at that as well.
Yeah, they're all kind of like, they think this is really funny. You see a sort of sadistic side of them.
Man, he helps the bird escape, which is cool. And then he goes, "What?" Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was funny. Calls these children little liars and threatens to arrest the teacher.
It's really funny. He busts in, the teacher says that Rowan... Oh no, sorry. He busts over to this desk, pulls it open, sees Rowan's name there, and says, "You little liar."
The teacher's questioning if Rowan exists. She alludes to Rowan being dead. He asks to see the corpse, and she says it's in the ground. He asks how she died, and she says she'll burn to death.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy.
He is just kicking about in this film. See if you like somebody just kicking about.
Oh, this movie's for you, man. He's just walking about a lot. He walks right into the teacher again in the next scene.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same actress, and he's like, "Didn't I just talk to you?" She's like, "No."
Which is...
Creepy, but also confusing. Like, is that the teacher? Or is it her sister?
No. In the credits, Molly Parker is credited twice as both characters and not just, two character names with a slash in the middle.
Yeah.
Molly Parker's name is... Which I'm thinking... Great
She
for
paid
Molly
twice for
Parker,
that?
because she was then paid twice for that.
I think they have to by union rules. She has to be paid twice if she played two roles. So he heads to the church and he meets Willow there. There's a crypt with a brand new padlock on it. Suspicious. This is where Willow reveals the big... I suppose this is supposed to be a big twist, or a big shocking reveal, where she says it's our daughter, and then Nick Cage realises that he's the dad.
His reaction is quite funny, man. He's like, "What?"
He does have a freak out issue with, but again, why is this not his first question? Why didn't he figure this out, the big dafty?
I don't know if he was a highway cop back then, but probably hanging and banging a lot of highway too. She takes Edward to Rowan's room, and it's the last place that she saw her. Edward's quite dismissive.
He's a pure addicted.
It's
hilarious.
He deserves what happens to him.
As soon as he finds out he's a dad, he turns pure cold-blooded on her.
Man.
He does not want to pay child support.
No.
He's like, "Oh no, man."
When she said he's the father, he wasn't doing the math on how long it was until they hooked up. He's thinking, how much is that?
How much that with this bitch? He looks under this desk for some reason, and what's her name?
Rowan.
Rowan's wrote "Help Me" at the bottom of this desk.
It's a disturbing drawing. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and you see the wee Wicker Man. She's drew a wee Wicker Man.
Edward spots the plane from the window and says he needs its radio and runs away from this scene.
He's just run away from her because he's realised that he's got a responsibility now.
He's wanted.
He's like, I need to get. He's actually wanting off this island.
He's like, he goes, take off, and he's just going to grab onto the leg of the sea bit.
It's like it's not Indiana Jones.
Aye.
This movie was already shite, right? But wait, it starts falling apart here, in my opinion. This pier scene.
Man, I know. He gets to the dock and the plane is just sort of bobbing there and it looks vacant. I would have GTA'd this bad boy out there, man. 4 stars. Rido, I'm sorry, but he waits.
He just waits for seemingly like 6 hours. He just sits there. And
like Forrest Gump on the bench, man. He gumps on this bench. I thought he was about to whip out Angry Birds. he just
sits there and waits.
It
turns from like day to night.
We do an actual fade transition.
See, even if you just see him like going back to his hotel room and coming back to him later on, but he just sits there like a big fucking stupid dafty.
He thinks his daughter's missing on this island and he's just sitting there.
Sitting about doing fuck all.
Until man.
He looks down at his feet and under this pier he sees what looks like a body, I guess. I'm thinking like, oh, that's the sea captain or something. He immediately just jumps into the water. Doesn't he bother like looking for a stick or something?
It's this ghostly Drunt Rowan, man.
It's another ghost kid.
We go for the double dream.
There's a double dream fake out.
It's a double dream.
A double dream fake out. So like he turns round.
He wakes up for the first one and he goes. No, he doesn't do the first one. He wakes up for the first one and he goes.
And he goes, oh, and then he looks down and there's dead drones in his arms. He goes, oh, and then he wakes up for the second one. And he's still sitting down.
God damn it.
Again, this is fucking hilarious. I'm dying at this.
Chrissy Nolan saw it and thought, I'm doing it. It's not a daft idea. He's been there for what feels like 7 hours and decides to swim to this seaplane.
Why didn't he do a start? Why did he sit there for 6 hours? He could just have swam out the seaplane right away.
He gets there, the radio's destroyed, like the classic. It's a good little creepy scene.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they ended it there. He walks through this island again, he must be soaking. He's in a wee huff at this point.
As he's walking, he's got ants in his pants. He's got a bee in his bonnet.
Francis Conroy here, he chaps on this door. And it's the dock.
This house is fairly nice and normal compared to other houses in this movie. Well, until we find out what's inside later. She's a great actress. This is going to sound like I'm making fun of her, I'm no.
Man.
But we've seen this character a lot. She does this a lot. The creepy older woman. She does this in American Horror Story. This is her bread and butter. And this is pure character actress, like...
Fresh off of that finale on 6 Feet Under, it's kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, she's a great actress. I'm not saying it against her, but she does this a lot, this role.
They have Ellen Burstyn, and I cannot get over it. That is so crazy. The cast is excellent.
Yeah.
It's no... This scene summarises it. A great actor with a prop here that Nick Cage sees called... It's this big book of rituals of the ancients.
She says, I'm the doctor / photographer. Do you want your picture taken? And he laughs and goes, no.
There's loads of that.
It's pure weird. It's like this awkward patter between them as if he's trying to be nice and civil, but he's quite clearly in cop mode. And then she's like, oh, I need to go out. I need to ask you to leave or something. And he just stands outside behind a bush.
No, man. He's no behind a bush, Ryan. He's hiding in a bush.
She's hiding in a bush right outside the front window. She can quite clearly see him. She's he's in a bush right outside my front garden.
Feels like he walked down the stairs subtly and then just ran and jumped and dived into that bush because there's a wee circle around him and he's just stood up and watched for the bush.
It is fucking ridiculous, man. I'm dying laughing at this comedy.
2 of the beekeepers come up, which the beekeepers look fantastic.
Yeah,
by
they're
the
pretty
way.
creepy.
But he again is just accepting all this for this bullshit. At this point, these people are walking about in masks. Breaks in and learns of the fertility blood ritual. Guarantees the harvest for the coming year.
There's loads of mad shit in their house, like mad experiments. Is it fetuses in jars?
Oh,
Is
we
that
get
what I'm
some
seeing?
classic jar babies.
I don't understand. Like, what is this from the? Is she experiment? What is she doing with the jar babies?
See some photos of Rowan. He goes to Willow's.
It says under Rowan. Rowan gets a wee bit of a bad time here. It says worst harvest on record. I'm like, poor Rowan, trying the hardest. He immediately confronts Willow with a picture. He yells at her. He's like, "What is this? What are you not telling me?" Blah blah. They start like shouting at each other and fighting, and then they do the most awkward kiss I've ever seen on film. Oh, I'm getting a book.
They kiss for some goddamn reason, man.
Why? There is nothing romantic. Her daughter's missing, as far as you know. There's fetuses in jars. There's people walking about in beekeepers' outfits. This is not the time for any winching of any kind. And plus, there's absolutely no chemistry between these two actors.
However, we see the first of many scenes of Nicolas Cage with
On
a
a
bike.
bike. This is always
This
funny.
Glorious.
This makes me laugh every time I see him on this fucking bike. He looks so uncomfortable.
So he's walking with it at first. And then he comes across this horse and carriage situation.
So there's this guy and he's like putting some logs onto a cart, which is kind of creepy because it's kind of foreshadowing that this is probably them making the Wicker Man.
Yeah.
It's probably the logs that they're actually using to build the Wicker Man, but he doesn't know that. He's trying to be nice and helps the guy because a log falls and he helps him up. A log almost falls on top of this guy and Nicolas Cage sort of saves his life and pushes him out of the way. But the guy doesn't say thank you, he just sort of looks at him. Again,
This is the weird close-up. The guy goes...
his mouth as if So again, it's implied that either the tongues have been cut out or they just are forbidden to talk or something like that. It's not really...
Did you get the gruesome cut of the pilot later?
Yes, and his eyes were
sewn shut.
His mouth was sewn shut.
Yeah,
right.
that was one. I really liked that shot. Nicolas Cage cycling.
This big dafty. He's cycling and sees all these bees and immediately gets fucking chased by them.
He's in a suit, man.
He's in a suit. He goes over to these bees and they start chasing him. This scene is hilarious.
These are no normal hives, man. This is like Alien.
Alien pods. This is where facehuggers live. These bees start chasing him down a hill. He starts running away from them. He's not doing a very good job. He's getting stung fuck out of.
He gets pure my girl, man.
He does get my girl, does he?
He's like, oh! He thinks he sees Rowan and passes out. He flashes back to that accident again. He sees the bees in the back seat and I laugh. He thinks the bees did it.
The bees were driving this car.
He's like, which one of you guys did it?
Oh, rest all of you, I swear to God.
Punching bees.
Punching the bees.
He's just trying to punch bees.
He's just swinging his tankard a bit like a madman.
Ah!
He wakes up and there's this wee creepy guy named Ivy staring at him. Have you got this?
No.
He wakes up with the doc,
Yeah.
Francis Conroy, and this creepy butler guy that's just staring at him. She says, "Thank you, Ivy." So this guy gets a name, but again, he doesn't speak. But he's like her servant. He's like the doctor's assistant or the doctor's servant. So again, it's kind of alluding to this: men are second-class citizens. Men are like,
Oh, this wee Wes Anderson character.
yeah, oh, totally.
I saw him. He asks, was he given his pen? She says, no, I treated you the old way. She sucked the poison out.
It's implied. She either sucked the poison out or she maybe just removed it like surgically or with leaves or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what the old way is. Man, imagine you woke up halfway through and Francis Conroy just sucking on your arm, sucking pus out your arm.
Oh, he gets up in his Nick Cage blue boxers, man. Do you see these?
It's sort of an unnecessary scene. Also, the bed he stands up for is like a child's bed. You know what's the size of this bed that he gets out of?
No.
He's in this wee like it's like a couch type bed that he gets off of. And it's like, he doesn't fit in this. Nicolas Cage is a big guy. This is made for like a child. Anyway, he goes up, he checks his gun. For some reason, well, not for some reason. Like, it's good that he checks his gun. He should have done this much later in the movie. Like, he checks that he's got bullets in his gun. I guess he's suspicious.
He sees two young women exiting just before he does. He goes outside. Friggin' Ellen Burstyn's in this. She is great. The movie is not. She says her mates nearly did him in. She means the bees. She's pals with these bees.
He's not having any of her shit. He's immediately just like, I need to exhume this body. She's kind of just like, do what you wish. She doesn't seem intimidated in the least. She knows she's got him right where she wants him. And he's giving it all big dick cop. Like, oh, well, I'm going to do this and that. And she's kind of like almost playing with him at this point, toying with him.
Oh, I wrote here, she is clearly playing with him and he is just one daft detective, man.
Aye.
The bees are like still trying to bite him up or whatever.
He kills another bee, something like one of them goes to his neck and he kills it. And she does kind of, her face flashes a wee bit of rage when he kills this bee, but then she sort of quickly masks it again.
She says that she's the heart of this whole shindig, this whole colony.
Calls herself the Great Mother Goddess.
He's really disrespectful.
In fairness, I would be as well. I wouldn't not to their face because I'd be like wanting to have this island, but they're talking crazy talk here.
It's a big carry on at this point.
Aye, there's a lot going on. Clearly he doesn't belong here. Clearly these people are at the very least total weirdos.
They go a walk and he looks roasting in this suit.
I can't believe that he's still wearing this suit.
They watch the beekeepers beekeep. Nicolas Cage closes up this coat from the bees, but instead he looks like a sort of stood up babe outside a diner in the 50s. Do you notice that? He does this.
He does do that sort of thing. You're right. I've wrote here now, I'm struggling at this point with this movie. I've actually wrote here in my notes, they walk and talk, but I am not listening. Something about female dominance, etc.
Women are the top of the food chain. They rule the island. They want men for their splooge, to have kids and to appease the goddess. Our great-great-great-grandmother settled there in the 1850s and they made a vow not to return back to the mainland. She says some of them do leave, but they do come back.
Is this not what happens with Amish people?
Yeah, they've got
I forget what the word is.
Yeah.
But when you turn 18 or something, or a certain age...
Rumspunker?
It's no rumspunker.
That's not right. Rumspunker.
That doesn't sound right. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Rumspringer?
They're allowed to venture into the quote-unquote real world to like get a taste of it, and if they like, they can stay there forever.
Great documentary on it.
Yeah, I think that's why I know it from this documentary.
The Devil's Playground?
It came out years ago in like the 90s, am I right?
Yep.
Or early 2000s. Really, really interesting. So this is kind of the same idea, where she says that people can leave the island, I guess like Willow did.
We see a beekeeper with a big hunk of honey. Do you see this thing, man?
Aye, that's big rotten. This is, right, honey's rotten. Like, it tastes okay, but the actual...
You're not a honey guy?
No, like, it tastes okay, like, see, on pancakes and stuff, like, honey's nice, but see, like, seeing it being taken out of, like, a beehive, like, see the way they scrape it off, that's war. Oh, it's rotten to look at, man.
But you'll have, like, Cheerio honeyos?
No, of course, aye.
Okay.
Or even fresh honey is okay to eat, but just I don't like the process of seeing it being made.
Scraped off the wall.
Aye, but it's literally scraped off the wall.
Quite a little racket you've got here going for yourself here. Breeding sounds like inbreeding to me. That delivery, some of these lines.
Oh, there's a lot of that. This whole scene between these two is so awkward.
They like to breed females. He asks what happens if they have a male. She's vague. It's kind of cool. That's kind of creepy.
This is when vagueness works, because it's like implication is that they are either killed or...
He says, I'm only interested in the law, sister. And then he says something about his little girl, and he pure cares about his little girl at this point.
I suddenly pure dad of the year at this point, and you're like, fuck you, mate.
He gets the okay to exhume Rowan's grave, and a guy shows up with a bike for Cage. This is
Ivy again.
Your favourite character.
This is so funny. Him riding this bike is always hilarious.
He takes it in a mood, and he grabs it from Ivy. And he grabs it from Ivy.
Mm-hmm. And gets on it pure angry, but there's no cool way to do this. You look like a fucking loser no matter which way you ride this bicycle.
him
It's a
in
pure
this,
old school Penny Farthing thing as well.
but in this suit, it's just so funny.
He's a pure Poindexter, isn't he?
Oh, he's a nerd! Nerd!
We cut to the next scene. He's digging up this grave.
Oh, he's one man in
He's
it.
he's digged up this grave all by himself in the middle of this field. There's a doll inside. I think it's supposed to be the doll from the start that he picked up for the road.
He hears crying and he follows the crying to like the ruins of a church.
Again, is this a supernatural movie? Like, where is this crying coming from?
If you're about to talk to me about a ghost
Is
church,
it a ghost?
Ryan.
Is it the drugs? Have they
Ryan.
drugged him at this point? Is it the bee stings have made him all loopy?
Well, they did do something with him whilst he was passed out for sure, but he was having these ghostly things before. I'm trying not to encourage this ghost talk with you.
I mean, he was having ghost thoughts on the ferry on the way over before he even got to them. Is it the cologne that he's putting on? Where's it coming from? Is it in his head? Is it real crying? See, even if it's just like, see if they show me one scene where there's like a videotape, like a tape recorder, and they're just like setting up a trap. But they need him to conveniently go to all these places, and whenever he needs to go into a place where he gets trapped, there's always a sound cue or something for him to go there. But it's always in his own head.
He is...
What's going on, Kim?
This hellhole that he climbs into, it's like Pennywise's lair. Like,
what a fucking idiot, by the way. Why would you climb in there? It looks like it's the biggest trap. Might as well have a big sign on it that says, "This is not a trap."
It looks like a Wile E. Coyote effort.
Honestly, man. It's a crypt. It's the crypt for earlier with the new lock on it that he mentions. So it's a crypt, so you need to go downstairs into the crypt. But when he gets down there, it's just... I guess it's a flooded crypt, because when he goes down later, you see a statue of Jesus, so I guess it used to be a crypt, but it's now been like... The water's risen. So it's now like a well, but it's got like a trap door at the top that you can get in and out.
He sort of deserves this.
Oh, 100%. He should have died here. I know, again, I've got a big problem with this scene.
This is the water level from Zelda, man.
He's in the water temple at this point. He sees another Nicolas Cage in here that he has to fight. Jumps into a trap door into this water because he sees again another ghost girl under this water, or so he thinks. He just dives right in. He doesn't just like put a hand in and try to grab her like while he's on land. He doesn't like look for something that can maybe hold the door open. He just dives in with no consideration. There's nothing in the water. Of course. Oh no, there's another jacket. Is this the second jacket?
It's the same. He's such a diddy, man. And though, he's a big diddy.
He's a big dafty, and he's fucking the most gullible guy in the world.
This is pure easy takeout, man. She suggested this, and they were like, "Won't be a problem," and Willow was like, "No,
he's a fucking
he's
idiot.
an idiot."
He gets back to the top of the trap door. He realises that it's been shut on him. He can't get out. So he hangs on to the bars at the top of this trap door, and he just hangs out there all night. Because again, there's another transition from night to morning. Has he just been hanging onto these bars for like 12 hours?
He seems to though
time.
Just drift out with these flashbacks because he has another one.
Yeah.
He has a flashback to that conversation with his colleague who...
I think he falls asleep, but he's like hanging onto these bars because if he lets go, he's going to fall into the water and drown.
He's really good at pause screens though, because he did that at the dock as well. He's good at waiting.
It's like seeing like a game where it's like you need to wait for certain hours until the mission starts. Like you can't start this mission until the morning.
Before Sonic.
It's like somebody's put their controller down to go for a piss and forgot to press pause, and the character's just standing there.
We get this flashback of his colleague who was talking to him before in his apartment just after the incident, and she turns into bees. It's very funny.
Why does she turn into bees? What's she got to do in any of this?
Willow comes for Edward, gets him out. He says that Rowan was in there because he found her cloak. He says, "Is this hers?" He shows the doll, and we get the scene.
How did it get burned?
How did it get burned?
How did it get
burned?
He's screaming in our face, man, and I'm pissed myself laughing. I've never seen this movie before. I've said that to you.
This is a first time?
First time seeing it. I've seen like a supercut on YouTube of all the funny scenes.
Yeah.
This is one of the big major ones.
It's wild.
So I'm very aware of the movie, but mostly just through all the GIFs and all the memes and all the YouTube compilations. So I've never actually seen the movie before.
So how is it?
Oh man, I really wish I was just watching a YouTube supercut, because you still get the point, you still know what's happening, but it cuts out all the shit. This is hilarious. I remember this.
He says, something bad's about to happen. I can feel it.
He's fucking no rang.
He says, go to the house and lock yourself in. I'll come back for you. A hard kiss. This American remake. Yikes.
From here on until the end of the movie, this movie just goes mental.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. This is when it picks up. This is what we're here for.
Well, you say picks up. It either picks up or gets much worse.
It's
like
not
one of
boring.
two extremes.
It's not boring.
Yes, that's what I mean. It gets extreme. This is where the movie just decides, forget all this weird subtle pretense. We're just going all in on this movie one way or another. Get ready for the fucking ride. He's walking about. He's got a big fucking swagger. He's kicking down doors left, right, and centre.
He goes to Summer Isle's house and literally checks every room of the house, and we're there for it all.
He swings open this door. There's some creepy naked weirdo in a bed.
We get the first crash zoom, like the original.
Yeah.
Starts getting eerie. It's kind of cool. We get a lady covered in bees.
Yeah, she's completely naked, sitting in a chair.
She seems happy.
Again, is this for the... I've not seen the original. Is this from the original, this scene?
The bees are fuck all to do with the original.
Is this all for...
This is nothing to do with
There's
the
no
original.
bees in the original?
Nope. It's about sacrifice, but it's just to do with the harvest. The bees are nothing to do with
that's
it.
mental, because this is bee heavy, this one. This movie's going off a cliff. He's kicking down all these doors. There's naked people in beds. There's a woman covered in bees.
We get a shot of Summer's Isle.
Yeah, she's lying in this bed surrounded by women.
It's a cool shot.
Again, why? But it is a cool shot. It looks quite scary, but it doesn't make any sense.
They're
Why?
preparing for the ritual, I guess. She's told by one of her followers that Edward has left the house.
Yeah, and she says, like, just as planned or something like that. Like, she knows this is going to happen. This teacher rocks up on this bike, and he takes this bike off her at gunpoint, and I'm laughing.
He commandeers this vehicle.
She's wearing a mask. We'll say that. She's wearing a mask, so we know some weird things going. She's saying the ritual's about to start, blah, blah, blah.
He decks her, man.
He fucking decks her and takes this bike, and I'm laughing.
He GTA's this bike.
Aye, he does. Runs away, bumps into the Shining twins again.
These twins, this is thick, man.
This is like...
It is he. They do this, like, Tim Burton kind of...
They're talking in tandem. They've both got weird eyes.
Mad white eyes.
Look how creepy this movie is. It's all that stuff. They start laying it on thick here. Which, do you know what? I'm a fan of. I like the fact that they've just dove headfirst into this weirdness at this point, because I'm just wanting this movie to be over. And at least it's no boring.
He runs through this town and he goes into this pub and he asks for help. The men just kind of sit there.
Yeah, this movie's... Sorry.
They're kind of docile.
Yeah, I've wrote here, this movie's just ramping up the crazy. He walks into this bar and all the dudes are mute. These little girls start fucking with him. He
checks this whole establishment out. He screams at everybody. He finds one in the closet who plays dead. He then just does a whole bunch of stuff from the original, to be honest.
Yeah, he freaks out. That's quite a cool scene where he opens the door and the wee girl falls out and he thinks she's dead, and they all go up, start laughing at him.
From the OG.
Is that a scene from the OG?
Everything, so much from this point is just the OG. The procession, the masks, the way they pop up out of the field.
Yeah.
So that's just all. At this point, you like the stuff from the original at this point.
Yeah, because the stuff I'm liking all this stuff. He goes down to the dock, his favourite place. Sees that the seaplane's sunk. You see the wee wing sticking out of the water, and he turns around and sees the pilot. He's on the beach. You mentioned it earlier. He's got this really gnarly, like, his eyes have been sewn shut and his mouth's been sewn shut. His
hand is missing and Wicker is shoved up it. It looks amazing. I really like that.
Yeah, it's really creepy. Is that in the original?
The pilot's he flies himself.
Is this in the original where he punches this woman for the bear costume? Because I'm laughing my ass off at this.
Nick Cage returns to this inn where he's crashing, interrupts these creepy these two are having this like 2.5 men kind of conversation about letting one of these costumes out more because the woman's getting bigger each year.
It's weird. She's like, oh, I don't know if this will fit you anymore. It's a weird, out of place joke. It's kind of funny though that they're being so light-hearted about this horrible act that's about to occur.
Yeah.
And they're just having a wee conversation about their weight as if this is just another Sunday sort of thing.
Nick Cage comes in and just...
He rattles her right in the face, which is fucking hilarious.
Ellen Burstyn gets everyone in town pure amped up for this burning. Everybody's buzzing. Cage flat out Tekken's Lee Lusabowski here. This fight
is fucking... Oh, see if I could do a chef's kiss for like the worst thing I've ever seen.
What were they thinking?
He does a karate kick. Karate kicks like it's fucking mental. And not like creepy mental like the rest of the movie. This is just like so out of place. This is like a bar fight. They have like a bar fight scene.
It's something from a Marvel movie.
Aye. It's just like, again, it's like we need an action scene, so we need a bit of kung fu in this movie, because like she jumps on his back, he flips her over her, she takes a swing at him, he ducks, and he just does a big like Bruce Lee like cross kick, and he kicks her like halfway across the room, and she hits all the pictures in the back and then slides down
and does that thing where she slowly passes out.
Aye, it is so weird. What is this film?
He bears up and joins this creepy procession next to Willow.
Him cutting about in this bear costume is fucking stunning.
We pull back in a wide shot and the person in the suit's doing this dance.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny.
It's hilarious.
They get to this spot and Rowan is waiting there looking like she's ready to be sacrificed, and he just... I mean, they notice him. They notice him immediately.
Of course, aye.
But he just blows his cover too soon.
He should have at least been smarter. Obviously, he doesn't know that they already know that he's there. He just runs right up and just, again, flat out, just decks this woman with a trumpet, walks right up to her, bang, right in the kisser.
He's just punching broads in this movie.
I think he throws about 6 punches to women in this movie.
He grabs this kid and hauls ass.
Really funny. He's still wearing the bear costume, and I'm trying to take this thing seriously, but what's he doing wearing this fucking bear costume? And he's wearing his suit under it. He must be fucking roasting. How's he not passed out?
He's in the woods for 2 minutes with Rowan, and she basically just leads him back to them. It's just a circle.
How is this big stupid cop not been like, no, we can't go that way, that's the way we just came? Like, I'm not a wood survivalist, right? You wouldn't be calling me Bear Grylls. But even I would know, like, no, we just came that way, we need to go this way. There's this weird scene where his phone starts going.
Yeah, he gets a reception suddenly.
And then he answers his phone, he's like, Pete, you gotta help me, these people are crazy.
I would be scaling a tree.
Exactly. If he can almost get a reception there, my immediate reaction is just like, where is the highest point I can get to get a reception? Also, why isn't, I suppose this could happen, why isn't Pete immediately sending someone, because he knows he's went to this island. They told him at the start of the police station about the letter, and he must have been gone for a couple of days at this point. Why are you not sending somebody there? Even the Coast Guard or something, they're boat to be like, here, one of our officers is no returned and hasn't answered any calls, can you go check on him? But there's fucking nothing. It's so weird.
He is led back to this procession, and Summerisle announces that he is to keep his appointment with the Wicker Man. It's all been an elaborate little scheme to get the sacrifice. So he is basically just been just-eated to this island.
It's been either ordered a rent-a-cop.
These twins show up and try to be creepy, and it's terrible.
It's
and
shocking.
He has been chosen to have a martyr's death.
Here's the thing, right? How does he not see this Wicker Man? This fucking massive 30 foot, would you say? 30, 40 foot man made of wicker.
Oh, it's a dullion.
It's bigger than all the trees. How does he not see this for a mile away, being like, here, by the way, what's that big guy over there? What's that all about? And like, this is the biggest thing on this island.
They overpower him and he cages out and takes out about 2 of them.
Again, a couple of swings. He takes his gun out and tries to shoot somebody. He realises he's got no bullets. He looks over at Willow. She's holding all the bullets in her hand. Again, terrible cop. Check your gun at all times. And then they all sort of pile on top of him, sort of thing. And then the scene kind of goes black. And then we hear him go. Then we hear all the cagisms. We hear him screaming like, "No, what are you doing? You people are animals!" Blah blah blah. And then we hear him say, "No, not my legs, you've broke my legs." He's explaining what's happening because we don't see it, which is sort of stupid sounding. I'm supposed to be freaked out at this point. I'm kind of laughing.
In mine, they bring the logs and put his legs over the logs.
Oh, really?
A guy stands with a hammer and breaks them, and you see it. And
That's pretty fucked up.
Pretty good.
Is it like in Misery?
It's like it's Midsommar level. It's not bloody, but it's pretty brutal. These folks are loving this.
And then the next scene, they're carrying him in some sort of like bag, kind of like the body bag for the start. And then they take I guess they had a sheet over him, they take it off, and then he sees the Wicker Man like for the first time. So again, how's he not noticed it? And this is where he shouts like, he sort of realises what's going to happen to him. He starts going, "Oh God, no!"
So instead of that, I get the mask.
I've seen this on YouTube, but this is a very famous scene. This was not in my cut.
The sort of beekeeper's large mask is placed on his head, and bees are dumped in it, and we get bees. No, not the bees, not the bees. My eyes, no, they're in my eye. Very famous scene. They sting the utter duck out of him, and he passes out. It's pretty gross. If you're allergic, and the severity of that, it's pretty brutal to know that they're orchestrating this.
Yeah, no, totally. That's a dark scene.
She brings him back. They bring him to the Wicker Man all covered up in this big towel.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I said sheep. It's basically a big towel thing.
They reveal it to him, and he's like, "Oh God!"
Yeah.
He's all chewed up, man.
He's all chewed up. He's fucked up. He's looked at this Wicker Man.
Is he took an allergic reaction in this shot to you though?
No. He's just
okay.
He's got like, he's all pale and stuff, but he's not getting any like, he's not swollen up or anything like that. Or
he's chewed up in mine.
I'm supposed to be freaked out by this. I'm supposed to be disturbed, and it is disturbing when you really think about it, what they're doing to him. But it's just so comical.
The Wicker Man looks cool.
The Wicker Man itself is well constructed. It is kind of fucked, like we mentioned it earlier, but the goats and stuff inside, it's really kind of disturbing and crazy looking.
He gets raised up, and we see animals inside this as well, which are being sacrificed. The final nail in the coffin, and when I'm laughing, Ryan,
that's the wee lassie.
Oh man, when Rowan is the one that comes up with this fire stick, and he still pleads with her. Oh,
I've got some films on this. It's a wee dad joke for you.
Watching UFC, and so I am howling here as Rowan is the one that comes up like Zelda with this wee stick of fire.
So it is like a torch for Zelda.
And he pure pleads. He says he still tries, and in my version his face is all chewed and he's ready to get burnt alive, and he says, "Put it down, honey."
Aye, he's trying to do this daddy part. She doesn't know you.
Sets fire to this ding dong, and they chant, "The drone must die." Cage gets cooked.
I was going to make fun of Cage here for the way he's screaming in this Wicker Man, but how else do you scream if you've been burned alive?
And you're being CGI'd.
That's Nicolas Cage. I'll give him this, and I will say this about every Nicolas Cage movie. He always gives it 110%. At least he's going for it. Yep. I would be embarrassed. Like, see if I'm up here in the Identity was cut and I need to pretend I'm getting burned alive, and I'm going, I would feel like a total idiot.
He makes it out now that he's in on a joke, and he knows it's a comedy, and he just own it, man. Say that you tried to do something that didn't work.
It's not his fault. No. He's directed. This was in the script. He's directed to do this. He's trying his hardest, but he can't win with this.
So that's kind of it for me. But we cut to the credits in my version.
No, so that happens. It gets burned alive. We see the head falling off the Wicker Man and onto the ground, and then the screen goes to black, and then we get a little bit of text saying 6 months later, or 6 weeks later, or whatever, X amount of time later. We cut to a hard cut to James Franco ordering a drink at a bar, and I'm like, what the fuck? Is this the wrong movie I'm in? James Franco and Jason Ritter, they're at a bar. At a nightclub, they're chatting about like how there's not many babes in here tonight. It's dead weird. It's like a completely different movie. And then they notice two little hotties at the end of the bar. It's Willow and not Jodie Foster. So they buy them drinks. They go over and they say, "Hi, can we buy you a drink?" Blah blah blah. They start chatting and flirting, that sort of thing. Willow and Jason Ritter go off to get more drinks. And that leaves James Franco with not Jodie Foster, Lilo, and she says, then she says to him, "So what you doing after this tonight?" He's like, "I'm probably just going to go back to my apartment." And she grabs his arm sort of sensually and says, like, "Can you take me with you?" And then it's like, you might as well have the dun 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 at the end there. And it just, that's where the credits kick in. It's pure weird, man.
The Wicker Man 2006, man, rate this thing.
Okay. Somewhere buried in this movie is a good movie. I believe, obviously, what they've taken from the original is hit and miss. It's very, very hard to talk about. Like, it is so mental and it is so weirdly cut together. The music's weird, the performances are weird. As you said, there's tons of good. Everybody's good in this. Like, the cast is good. On paper, this should work, but it doesn't. The tone's all over the place. The lighting's all over the place. At times, it's like a soap opera. I would recommend everybody watch it though, even if for the unintentional comedy. But it is a hard watch. Like, I did struggle. I was checking my watch a lot during this, wanting it to be over. But it does have a weird manic energy that's kind of cool. I don't know how else to describe it. It's the most unusual film you'll ever see. Not even unusual in a good way. But like, put it this way, like, I remember Howard the Duck. I hated it, as you know. I hate this movie too, but in a totally different way. I'm not going to rate it highly because it's not a good movie. It's terrible in almost every way. But I still feel everybody should watch it at least once. So, with that being said, I'm going to give it 2 out of 5 coconuts.
Okay.
That was a very vague review from me, but it's a very vague movie.
The Wicker Man 2006. I think this is like one of those movies that you watch before you go on the ride at Alton Towers.
Yeah.
Ironically, they've got a ride called The Wicker Man. This feels like...
Do they?
They do have one now. It's a great ride. This feels like the movie you watch before you go on the ride at a theme park.
Yeah.
2 out of 5 coconuts. You think you were vague? Yeah, there's some creepy scenes. I adore the original. I think they tried sometimes. It is what it is.
Aye.
I don't knock remakes. I like a lot of remakes that came out during this period.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I am huge on that remake in 2003. It's a great movie. This is just whatever. 2 out of 5 coconuts.
Yeah.
Fun to talk about. I will watch this again for those cageisms.
I would recommend, if you really want to see the Nick Cage stuff, just do it and watch the compilations on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because that's the only good parts of this movie. Like, all the boring stuff, just cut that out. It's not necessary.
Watch the original, or watch Midsommar, or watch some other folk horror, because folk horror is amazing. I adore that genre. Oh, great movie.
Spelt weird. Really irritates me.
And I do want to mention a fantastic box set. I have All the Haunts Beowulfs that was put out by Severin. It's an amazing box set. It's a collection of folk horror movies, and this is in them.
What, Wicker Man?
Yeah, the remake
is in this box set.
The remake's in the big cracking collection. I'm so happy it's there.
Why?
So you get a load of extras of people talking about the differences between the pair of them and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good genre. This is not the one. If you wanted to see something good in this genre, then watch the original.
Yeah.
Or Midsommar.
Oh, it's so good. Geese, what's next week, man? Are we going... We're going somewhere else?
Let's do it. Let's go. Trailer.
Your mind. It is the center of your life. It is everything you hear. Everything you see. everything you feel. It is everything you are. How would you know if someone stole your mind?
Arrest that woman!
Quaid.
Cut. Get ready for a surprise!
We can't let him run around. He knows too much. They've got your bug.
I get a lock. There!
And the bug's in your skull.
Take this thing out of the case and stick it up your nose. Don't worry, it's self-guiding.
Got him.
I lost him.
Welcome to Mars.
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here.
Look who's talking.
They erased your identity and implanted a new one.
If I'm not me, who the hell am I?
He's got a hologram!
Welcome to Johnny Cab.
Drive!
Where can I take you tonight? Please fasten your seatbelt. I want Quaid delivered alive for reimplantation.
That's for making me come to Mars. You wouldn't hurt me. After all, we're married.
Consider that a divorce.
We hope you enjoyed the ride.